Welcome to Arcades, the Strategist. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, we're going to keep on this one. Don't have a lot of defenders in the hand, but kind of like what we've got going on. We do have some protection for some Arcades, and if we want to grab some sort of fast mana rock with Enlightened Tutor, we can definitely go for that. So, don't really want to mulligan past 7. Otherwise, if we're feeling a little frisky or something, maybe we would, but we're okay with holding on to this one. Let's go and get down Marsh Flats, and then, yeah, that way we can be online for Enlightened Tutor. Anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We are playing Arcades, the Strategist, Mr. Walls himself. Flying and Vigilance. Whenever a creature or defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Then for each creature you control defender, each creature you control defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Now, do we want to end up going for this Enlightened Tutor pretty quick? You know, let's go and hold on to Enlightened Tutor. Maybe we want to grab Panharmonicon or something like that. Let's kind of see what an impulse is going to give us off this one, and then I'll feel pretty good. Let's go ahead and any certain thing we want to put into play tapped. We do have Flooded Grove in the hand. Let's go and grab Hollowed Fountain. Actually, Prairie Stream. Yeah. We'll grab Prairie Stream. It's going to come into play tapped. We'll be able to get down Sun Petal Grove next turn untapped. And then, ooh, Drawn to Sylvan. I like that. We'll go and get that down. Yeah, I think we do. Let's go and get down Sylvan, because that's going to allow us to get into Arcades a little bit quicker. So hopefully we'll draw into another defender. That way we can take advantage of that card draw. We're playing against Hazoret the Fervent, or Hazoret the Pervert. Indestructible and haste whenever Hazoret can't attack or block unless you have one or fewer cards in your hand. Then for a 3-mana activation, Hazoret deals 2 damage to each opponent. Okay. So should be playing against Mono Red Burn, and they're getting their hand down pretty low. So now the cool, we got hit by Runation, so welcome. I hope you're excited to have some fun. Let's go ahead and shock in Temple Garden, and we'll probably, more than likely, use this to... That was brutal. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pay. Just man, I hate getting hit by land destruction. Yeah, we're gonna pay that, and then we'll see if we want to end up going for Enlightened Tutor. But we'll go ahead and pass the turn. But more than likely, we'll go for Enlightened Tutor. We're going to grab Mana Crypt. That way, we can kind of keep us back online for mana, and then we'll still have at least 3 colored sources to get down. Actually, we might still be able to get down Arcades. If we look at the land drop, Sylvan, and then Enlightened Tutor getting Mana Rock on top, we should be okay. So. It's not the end of the world that Runation happened, but it's still pretty devastating when it does. All right, we got Hazoret swinging across for 5. That will knock us down to 22, and that will be 5 total commander damage. So hopefully, with them only having 1 card in the hand, we're going to be able to get this. Let's go and go for Enlightened Tutor. Let's go and search up that Mana Crypt and then get that going and get down Arcades for next turn. Let's go and get this popped out. There we go. Where are you, Mana Crypt? There we go. Actually, do we want to grab Soul Ring? Because we need 3 colored sources. We'll go grab Mana Crypt because we need to get down something that's not going to cost anything. Okay, so we're going to draw into Mana Crypt. Let's go ahead and get down Flooded Grove. Let's go ahead and get Mana Crypt out there too. And then hopefully we'll be able to dig just a little bit deeper. Let's go and add Blue Dart Mana Pool. Let's add double green off Flooded Grove. And then tap down for Arcades. All right, anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. So we're looking at 1 card in our opponent's hand. Let's kind of double check what they've got going on as far as their artifacts go. Roll a Planar Die. Yeah, that's just straight up artifact. Blood Moon, okay. Got hit by Blood Moon. Thankfully, we still have Sylvan out there. And we can get down a few creatures and still use that extra mana. Let's go 2 tails on this one. Lost the flip. Go down to 14. And we're drawn to Wall of Tanglecord. Let's go and get down Arid Mesa since it is a mountain now. And do we want to dig with... Impulse to actually it works out to where Tangle is going to be we can get that down as a defender, and that's going to allow us to chump block on the Hazoret for a while now. Now we do need to find another colored source, so we can still use Sylvan, and let's go ahead and get down Lightning Greaves and get that protected onto Arcades. There we go. And let's go and push across for 3 with Arcades, and then we're going to go and pass the turn over to our opponent. Yeah, I like that. We're going to be able to leave up Wall of Tangle, and that way it's going to chump block on Hazoret. They can deal 2 damage to each opponent. Yeah, so we don't really have to worry about that activation. And then hopefully we should be able to kind of stabilize on this one. The only thing we do need to watch out for is going to be that Mana Crypt trigger, dealing a pretty good chunk of damage to us. But other than that, it looks like we might be able to kind of get this one going. We're still going to go for Impulse, and if something kind of nutty does happen with Tower Defense, we can give all of our creatures a pretty big power and toughness bonus, and we might... Let's say that we can deal some damage to our opponent, because that's going to be 15 points of damage right there. In addition, it's going to be 20, 23, 29. So I think, actually, yeah, if we could have pushed past Hazoret, we might be able to deal a pretty good chunk of damage. Let's go and go for Impulse, though. Might be able to one-shot our opponent. And then Mystic Gate, Sunscape Familiar. At this point right now, we're just kind of looking for a basic land. Actually, let's go grab Perimeter Captain, because basically if they start swinging in, that's going to allow us to gain some life. And if you do hear something, my cat is playing with one of our toys and is hitting against the door, so do apologize about that. Let's go choose Tails on that one. One the flip, 1 for 2 in our Mana Crypt triggers. And then we draw into Eerie Interlude. Okay, I'd like to leave up Eerie Interlude. Let's go ahead and swing in. Because looking at a 5-4 coming across, and we can end up going for that tower defense if we want to. And it's going to be indestructible. You know, let's do this. Let's just go and push across with Arcades right now. That's going to be knock them down to 24. That's going to be 3 total commander damage. And that puts us online for tower defense next turn. And it also puts us online for Eerie Interlude. That way we can kind of draw into a little bit of extra card draw. And then kind of see if we can't get something going outside of that. But with tower defense, hopefully, we basically just need to get a little bit more defenders on the battlefield. And they'll be able to kind of push past our opponent's stuff that they've got on the battle. Okay, Chandra's coming down. Exile the top card of your library. Deals 4 damage to target creature. Which are actually okay on that 4 damage. Okay, yeah, we can make that work. Let's see what they end up doing. Okay, and they go for Flaying Tongue Kavu. And it's going to be 4 damage to target creature. So let's see who they're going to target on this one. I guess technically they can target Wall of Tangle Cord. Yeah, they're going to deal that damage. What we can do is it's going to be 4 damage to Wall, and we can declare Wall. Oh, excuse me. All right, so but if they swung in with Hazoret, we could have declared it a blocker. But let's go ahead and go for Eerie Interlude. Let's make sure that Arcades goes to the exile zone instead of. Actually, we just exile both of those anyway. We're going to tap down on Carotid, Mana Crypt. Let's go for Eerie Interlude. And that'll be 2 additional card draw. Oh, there we go. Draw into Venser and then Shield Sphere, which is actually going to work out really well once we get down to Shield Sphere. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. 1 the flip. 2 for 3 on our Mana Crypt triggers. And then we draw into Wall of Roots. Let's go and get down Shield Sphere to see if we can't hit a land drop off of this. Draw into Brushland, and we can get that down, but unfortunately it's not going to do much. Yeah, let's go and get down Brushland, and I guess at this point right now, we can't get down Venser. We'll probably end up going for Wall of Roots. That way it still gives us access to a little bit extra mana, that green mana. Yeah, let's go and get that one down. That'll be green off Sylvan. Man, it's so good that we drew into Sylvan. That was really nice. All right, we'll get down Wall of Roots. I'll draw an additional card, draw into Bonded Fetch, and unfortunately we can't get that down for blue mana. Yeah, let's just go and pass the turn. So now we're finally getting to the point to where our opponent only has 2 creatures on the battlefield. This tower defense is going to allow us to kind of swing in for a pretty good chunk of damage next turn. So let's see what they end up getting down this turn. If not, then we should be Seething Song. Okay, that's exactly what we want to see off of that. Seething Song's not going to be the best option for them to get going with that extra mana. And then hopefully we should be able to kind of stabilize from here. But yeah, this is kind of what makes Arcades a lot of fun, is that you can use stuff like tower defense. It's kind of a one-sided combat trick, and it just works out so well. There's nothing else that we can do at instant speed, at least at this point right now. So we'll go and push in next turn, and let's see what we draw into. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. Loss of flip, go down to 9. And they draw to Temple of Enlightenment. Now, what we can do is we can tap down Sylvan. That's going to be 5 creatures coming across. So let's say that they end up chump blocking on... Yeah, let's go and get down Temple of Enlightenment. It's going to come into play untapped. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if they... Because we're going to be able to swing in for 3. Then they chump block on 2 creatures. So it's basically, that's going to be Wall and then Shield Sphere. That's going to be 10 coming across. And that is also going to be 18. So I don't think that's going to be exactly enough. So let's do this. Let's go and get down Bonded Fetch. That way it'll at least be another creature. That way we can swing across with. Or we're going to have a better option with Perimeter Captain. Yeah, let's do that, because that's going to be higher power and toughness. So we'll get down Perimeter Captain. We'll draw an additional card. Then draw into Intruder Alarm. And then next turn, we're going to end up going kind of swinging across on this one, because I think that'll put it to where we're going to have 3 in the air. Let's go and swing in with Arcades just to make sure we can get that combat, get their life total down. Puts them down to 21, and it also kind of leaves us in a spot to where, you know, if they want to go for that -3, they can off of Chandra, but we'll be in a pretty good position. And they're just digging at this point right now, trying to find some sort of answer. But yeah, with only 2 blockers on the ground, it's going to be 5, 10, 15. That should be enough next turn to kind of get some good stuff going. Okay, so we got Beaumont coming across. That's going to be 1 card exiled. That's going to put 1 card back into their hand once they go for that activation. And they will get down Outpost Siege. All right, so we'll be able to swing in for next turn. Let's see what we draw into. Let's go and choose Tails on this one. Lost the flip. That's going to put us down to 4. And we draw into Path to Exile. All right, so let's go and push across on this one. We could try to get down Bonded Fetch with Sylvan, but we want to get in for a little bit extra damage. So let's go and push in with the whole crew. All right, and we'll go and remove one of the counters from Wall of Roots and go for the Tower Defense activation. Let's back off on that one. There we go. Temple of Enlightenment. Go for Tower Defense. All right, put our opponent down to -8. We might have been able to kind of close that out one just a little bit quicker, but I just wanted to make sure we were able to push that damage through. So thankfully, we did get down Sylvan pretty quick. Having access to at least some sort of colored mana really helped us in this one, especially with our opponent getting down Blood Moon. And we got all the way down to 4, so that's always nice to kind of see that one. But it's always fun to kind of beat some sort of mono-red prison deck. And yeah, get the walls going. So if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Arcades. As far as opening hand goes, yeah, it looks beautiful. We're going to keep on this one in a heartbeat. That's a nice keeper right there. And we're playing against Sidisi, which is going to be a fun matchup. Sorry, our opponent joined the game a lot quicker than I thought, and I'd run to the restroom real quick. Let's go and get the graveyard popped up. Let's go and get down Catacombs. That sounds good. Yeah, let's go and get down Catacombs. We'll go ahead and crack that. And then just in case our opponent, that was looks like Chrome Mox there for a second. Yeah, let's go and grab Tropical Islands. Grab that one. Let's get down Soul Ring. And then that way, if our opponent, for some reason, has some hand disruption, we'll at least be online for Kodama's Reach next turn. But yes, welcome to Arcades. Hope you're excited to see some walls get onto the battlefield. And I will cover our commanders in just a second. Let's go and go for Kodama's Reach. It's going to be 1-2. And then we'll see how we want to do this split with us having both of these in the hand. That's going to be 2 white sources. We'll probably just split this one down the middle, green and then blue. That'll be pretty good. Let's go and get the island on the battlefield. There we go. Island on the battlefield, force in the hand. And then let's go ahead and get down Glacial Fortress. Yeah, that sounds good. And then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. We are playing Arcades, the Strategist, Flying and Vigilance. Look at that. Turn 3. It's going to be turn 3 here in a second. Flying and Vigilance, whenever a creature or defender enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Then each creature you control defender assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power and can attack as though it did not have defender. Let's go and get Arcades down, and we'll be online for Shield Sphere, which I do like the sound of that. So it's going to be green, white, then blue. Tap for 2 more. Let's go and get down Shield Sphere. We'll draw an additional card. Temple of Enlightenment. Do we want to get down Assault Formation with that last floating mana? Yeah, we're okay with that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go and get down Forest. Let's go for Assault Formation. Just trying to be most efficiently as possible. And then anything else, kick it back over to our opponent. We're playing against Sidisi, Brute Tyrant. Whenever Sidisi enters the battlefield or attacks, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from the library, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. So should be a pretty fun zombie mill match. And then, yeah, we've covered both commanders, so it is free time. You can do whatever you want. Have some fun. I just played against Hazoret, so I think if I'm going to edit the video, you'll see this video after Hazoret. So that was a pretty fun match. It's always fun to be able to do what I did in the video, and I'm not going to say exactly what I did, but just in case I beat a certain card, which is always nice. Depending on how I edit the video, I don't want to kind of ruin it like that. Let's go ahead and get down Signet. Actually, let's go for Temple of Enlightenment. Let's get the Scry going, the Scurry, the Fever. Yeah, let's go and put that on top. Let's go and get down Axebane Guardian. Look at this, man. This is exactly what you need to be doing with Arcades. Let's go and get down Sylvan. And then we'll go and go for Sylvan. Uh-oh, dang it. Actually, the way we tapped it, we're not going to be able to do that. That's a bummer. I wanted to get down Sylvan, but I goofed up. We should have gotten down Sylvan first. I think we could have gotten that out there, but by getting that down, we can't get that. Let's go and swing across with Arcades. It's going to be a 3/5. Do we want to go and send in Shield Sphere? You know what, let's just go and hold up Shield Sphere at this point right now. That way we can chump block on Sidisi coming across. They will be able to kind of get some milling going. But at least we'll go on chump block with Shield Sphere. That way we can kind of stop that 3/3 from coming across. Or if they want to swing across, we can at least still go ahead and make that trade. And then we still have we need to keep in mind we have the activated ability off Assault Formation. They get +0/+1 until end of turn. Let's go and get down Temple of Mystery. Get the Scry going again, the Scurry, the Fever, the Descent, Savannah. Let's go and put that on the bottom. Let's go ahead and go for Sylvan. Actually, let's do it like this. Let's go Soul Ring. Let's go Azorius Signet. Let's get down Wall of Denial. And then let's go and draw an additional card. Draw into Mystic Gate. Let's go and get down Sylvan too. And we do draw into Fell the Mighty. Let's go and swing in with Shield Sphere and Arcades. Yeah, that'll work. All right, so swinging Shield Sphere and Arcades. This will be at least 9 coming across on our opponent, and then we'll see what. We have a response. What's happening? That's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. This looks gonna be 5 total mana. Dictate of Erebos. Whenever a creature you control dies, each. Okay, all right, very nice. All right, so we got hit by Dictate flashing in right there. Just you fell into my trap. So that will be the zombie chump blocking. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to sacrifice a creature. Let's go ahead and sacrifice at this point. I really like Shield Sphere, but I like the amount of mana that we have going on right now. Actually, we're going to get rid of Sylvan. Yeah, we can get rid of Sylvan. That's fine. I like having Shield Sphere as a 0/6 out there. We still have Arcades that's going to be able to take care of Sidisi. And thankfully, with Dictate on the battlefield, it's not going to be super bad for us. We can still kind of bounce back from that. Thankfully, Arcades allows us to draw into a ton of cards. So with Arcades getting these defenders down, we can hopefully kind of get ahead of that Dictate, and it won't necessarily be a 1-for-1 from our opponent. But with them making a bunch of tokens, zombie tokens, that does make it a little bit hard for us to kind of push that, get some sort of sizable game plan going on our side of the battlefield, and especially with stuff like Secure Tribelt or sacrificing that. So that's something we will need to keep in mind. Now, what we can do is if we want to, we can go for Fail the Mighty. Okay, do we want to kind of chew this one up? See if they get a zombie. Okay, they do end up hitting a zombie. Yeah, let's go and chump block on with Wall of Denial. Or we can actually swing with it next turn. We're only looking at 3 damage coming across. I guess the main thing right now is, do we want to see if we want to kind of trade? Yeah, let's go and trade X-Bane Guardian with Sidisi. That way it's going to force them to recast it next turn. It's going to make them kind of, well, that's going to give them an additional trigger, but either way they're going to be swinging in. Yeah, let's go and do that. We'll go and trade with Sidisi. Send Sidisi back to the command zone. That'll make us sacrifice a creature. Actually, excuse me, we'll be able to get around the sacrifice with Dictate by having Sidisi go back to the command zone. So it'll kind of leave a few extra creatures on the battlefield for us. Oh, and dang it, you know, we could have gone for the Assault Formation activation. Sorry about that. I completely forgot about that. I will definitely keep that in mind. All right, so we do draw into Wall of Tango Chord. Let's go and get that down. That's going to be 1/2 off of Soul Ring. And we'll go and play 1 on this one. Yes, we're going to pay that ability. Get down Wall. Hopefully we hit another wall. That'd be really nice. Ooh, Tetsuko. That's going to be really good. Let's go and get down Tetsuko. And at this point right now, we're just going to start racing our opponent at this point. Okay, let's go and push across with Arcades and Shield Sphere and Wall of Denial. And we'll go for 1 more Assault Formation activation just to get a little bit of extra damage. Okay, there we go. Swinging in for, that's going to be at least 16 coming across with Wall Denial and Shield Sphere unblockable, and also going to be Arcades swinging across for 3. So that will knock them down. Opponent will go for Tribe Elder activation. We'll go and sacrifice Wall of Tango Chord. That way we can get as much damage as possible. All right, put our opponent down to -1. There we go. Going to be able to close it out on that one. That's going to be 16 coming across and 3. And actually, excuse me, yeah, I completely forgot about Assault Formation giving our creature, yeah. There's a thing in Magic called read the card. Sometimes, you know, when you're giving commentary, it's hard to kind of remember different stuff like that. But I forgot that Arcadia is going to be able to deal combat damage. But even if we didn't have Assault Formation on the battlefield, once we got down Tetsuko, we're in a pretty good position because we got 9 and 7 coming across. It's going to be 16 points of damage. And as you can tell, we're able to get out from underneath a Dictate of Erebos, which is pretty brutal sometimes. And it just goes to show you what card draw can do. Getting down Arcades, casting a bunch of these defenders, and then drawing a ton of cards. So, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.